Bismillah. Inna alhamdulillahi wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah anbiya wal mursaleen. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani wa yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuhu. I hope each and everyone is doing good, inshallah, and getting the spirit for doing the Hajj more stronger and stronger, inshallah. The registration process has been on and it has started already, and it is really important that we all get started on this one. And that's why today's session is going to be dedicated to Nusuk registration. So far, we have gone through the high-level Hajj process. We have talked about the high-level information on hotel and Mina camp, and we have gone over the estimates for the package prices and our own schedule of how we are going to support throughout the whole Hajj process, inshallah, all the way until the start of the Hajj. And again, these sessions are open to each and everyone. It's irrespective of if they pick one of the packages we support or not, that doesn't matter. It's open to everybody, inshallah ta'ala. And then we also did go through Nusuk registration process. Today, we are going to have much more hands-on Nusuk's registration support and also the Q&A as part of that one, inshallah. Okay. To get started, the essence of the Hajj. Okay, as we have discussed last several times, the essence of Hajj, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran in several different places in Surah Baqarah, is basically to commemorate Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Commemorate as in follow, celebrate, and contemplate. Think about what Allah has blessed us. What is it that Allah wants us to do during the Hajj? But do it with devotion and dedication. So, as we have done in the last this one, the next step that I would like us to think about for 1 minute, close your eyes and imagine you being in the plain of Arafat. In the plain of Arafat, where of all the things the Prophet ﷺ delivered his final khutbah, final speech, it had several commands in it. Okay, it's a beautiful speech. Even into today's time, it carries the issues, the solutions for the problems that we face today. We have issues with racism. We have issues with differences in income. We have issues with gender, the violence against genders, etc., 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 etc. The Prophet ﷺ in the plain of Arafat delivered his final speech, and he gave us all the solutions to that one. So think about it that you are in the plain of Arafat, and this is also the plain, the land where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I accept your dua. Just imagine sitting in the plain of Arafat, and seeking Allah's blessings, seeking Allah's acceptance of the duas. These are the things that I want you to contemplate and think about, so that when you are going through the Hajj process, the Nusuk process, there are frustrations, there are challenges, etc., that come, immediately step back, take a minute back, and think about what you're going for. What is the essence of the Hajj? What is it that you get from it? Go through each one of the steps at a time. Pick one of these steps that we go through and just close your eyes for a minute. Inshallah, that will bring you back that spirit that you need to have for the Hajj and the excitement that you need to have, inshallah. So in the Hajj process, the one that we want to concentrate is the Nusuk registration. It's really important that you get your registration completed and verified. The verification process is expected to start in the middle of November. They still haven't started it, but you need to have your registration documents and everything in before, so that as soon as they start the process, you can go through the verification, because it's highly possible they might come back with some corrections that they need. So it will give you some time. Our recommendation, our expectation for everybody to complete the registration, including approval process, by the first week of December. When the packages are released, inshallah, we are expecting it to be released in the later part of December, towards the end of December. We want each and every one of you to be able to view those packages. You cannot view those packages If you are not approved, your registration is not approved. That's the reason we are pushing for everybody to go through the registration process. Complete your registration process. If you have issues with your registration, reach out to us, reach out to different people, whoever you reach out to, get your registration done, inshallah. Now, some of the areas that we have seen people having issues, we are going to cover that. The process for the Nusuk registration, it's released. We have released a video as well as a document that goes step by step on how to do it. The areas that we have seen people struggling tremendously is actually in the images. I've repeated this before, and I'm going to repeat that again. Avoid taking a copy, image of your passport using your phone, because in many cases, it'll end up either chopping this area off, chopping this area off, chopping this one off, or this becoming crooked, etc., or not being legible. Preferably go to, if you scan it, if you don't have a scanner at home, go to one of the copy machine places, the FedEx, UPS, etc. Many places have scanner. Your public library has scanners. Look for places that have scanner that can scan your document and get it for you. Okay, so get the document. It has to be pretty, any passport, any country passport that you look at, it needs to cover all these four corners like this. All these four corners need to be legible, no doubts about it. It needs to be clearly legible. It has to be visible clearly. Especially these last two lines, people end up chopping this many times, or this image will become a little bit crooked. Please do not do that. Please get a good scan of this one so that when you're looking at it, it is clear. It is that you're able to scan it and put it in, inshallah ta'ala. Okay. The dimension has to be approximately, the maximum is 800 by 400. We will show you how to do this one. The passport has to be valid until November 2026. If you find your passport is going to expire anytime before November 2026, get it renewed immediately. You can renew it immediately. You can apply for it, get it renewed immediately, because if the requirement that Hajj ministry has, 6 months from the date of travel, your passport has to be valid, at least 6 months before the travel. So meaning the travel for the Hajj, we are expecting sometime in the middle of May. So your passport has to be valid at least for end of October into November. So to be on the safer side, we are suggesting November. At least by November, you have to have it. The second document is the picture. It's very important that the picture is 200 by 200 pixel, and it kind of covers your face and shoulders, something similar to this one. It's very important, and it needs to have a white color background. Otherwise, they will reject this one. So avoid getting into situation where you're submitting your document and then they're rejecting, etc. So be consistent with this one. Now, if your citizenship and your residency does not match, okay, then you need a third document, which is your residency proof. Okay. Preferably, you should either submit your green card or your driving license. Avoid submitting the rest of the documents, even though they do accept it. But generally, this gets into lots of issues. The information is not correct. If you do have to submit any of this, make sure it clearly has your name and your current address. It is very important. It needs to have your full name as it is on the passport, and it needs to have the address that you are going to submit. This is very important that it needs to be there on the documents. Without that, they will not accept it. But as I said, preferably residency permit or your driving license are the best documents to submit as residency of proof. Now, this is only required if your citizenship does not match with your residency. Remember one thing, Nusuk is based on your residency. Okay? Nusuk supports people who are residing in America, North, South America, Europe, UK, uh, Australia, New Zealand, South Korea, Japan. Okay, these are the countries that support Nusuk supports. It is not based on the citizenship of that country. It is based on the residency. Remember, residency means you need to have one of these things. Okay, work visa, employment contract, or green card. It is not that you're a visitor visa. Visitor visa is not acceptable, okay? You need to be a resident of these places. If your residency and proof and your citizenship are different, then you need to submit this document, okay? Now, let's look at the challenges that people have with correcting this document, okay? As we said, the passport copy needs to be 800 by 400, okay? Or that's the maximum that it can be, and it needs to be under 1 megabyte, okay? How do you do it? You can use tools such as Paint or Paintbrush on your Macintosh, Paint on your Windows machines or Paintbrush on your Macintosh. If you go there, if you bring up the Paint, which looks somewhat similar to this one, okay, there is an icon here that says resize, or in the older versions of Windows, it'll have an option from here to edit. Edit will have a resizing option, okay? So when you come to the resizing here, you need to pick the pixels here, okay? You need to select the pixels, and then you need to select the horizontal and vertical, which should be 800 by 400, something to that effect, okay? So you can look at the bottom here what the your image is set to and the size of the document. Again, as I said, it has to be under 1 megabyte for passport copy, and for the passport picture, it has to be 200 by 200 up to 1 megabyte, basically. Okay, but once you're completed doing this, it is very important that you recheck your image, that the image is clear, that it is legible. The image has to be legible. If it is not legible, then you need to go back and redo this one, inshallah. Okay. So the other part in the registration that I want to highlight, I mean, besides this submitting of the documents with the proper image, the rest of the process is pretty straightforward. Okay. There are three things which are gotchas. I'll go over that. That's what I'm going through. Okay. There is one screen that talks about arrival details. It's asking you for total expected days in KSA, expect travel method, and the flight number. Well, you're going to get saying, well, I don't know how many days my package is, and I don't know what's the flight number. Okay. This is a little bit, a miss from the Nusuk side. They should have avoided asking this information, but since they're asking, you can just go ahead and put some numbers such as 14 days or 21 days, whatever you feel like. And then flight number, just put 1, 2, 3, 4 or 001, something to that effect. But these are required fields. Okay, so you have to put something. Now, the other area is about the address. They ask for street address, home address, and post office box. The street address is the numerical part of your address. For example, if your address is 102 Chicago Street, for example, okay, here you would put 102 and Chicago Street would go here. Okay, again, if your address has numerical part and then an alphabetical part, such as 102 Lakeshore Drive, for example, you would put 102 here, Lakeshore Drive here. If you don't have a post office box number, you just put not applicable, but you have to put something in this field, okay? These are all required fields. You cannot skip them. So this is the numerical portion of your address. This is the physical portion of your address, okay? Now, the other area people keep getting confused and trying to figure out is how do I add additional people into my account, okay? Now, remember, adding additional people into the account means all the people in your account will be paid through one single wallet. That means if you have three people and if your package cost is $10,000 each, you need to make sure you have $30,000 in the one wallet. Okay, we'll talk about the e-wallet, how to put the money into the e-wallet later on. Right now, we just want to concentrate on registration. Okay, so the other thing is everybody in your account will have to take the same package. It is one package per account for all the people in your account. That is how Nusuk works. So you cannot pick different packages for different people in your account. Everybody in your account has to be buy the same package, which means they have to fly on the same date, return on the same date, stay in the same hotel, etc., etc. Okay, so once you have uploaded your documents, if you scroll down to the summary page, you will see there is a button here that says add a family member. Now, the process to add a family member is you would click this, and then you have to provide a unique email address per family member and a unique phone number. Okay, unique email address and unique phone number required. So once you provide that, then Nusuk will send an email, a verification email to that email address, making sure that you have given them a valid email address. Once that person verifies that it is a valid email, then you will have to come back here and then submit the same documents, similar documents for them, and complete rest of the information. Okay, for each person in your account, you will have to go through and complete this one, but the login is going to be your login. You're going to log in using the main person's account holder's login information. You would come back here and then you would continue adding the documents for each family member once that email address has been verified. Okay. So these are the areas that I wanted to highlight. So, as we went through, this is hajnusuk.sa. This is creating account. I'm going to kind of breeze through this one. The one area that I want to highlight, we discussed about this package prices and the area, the factors that affect it, which is the hotel of the location of the hotel in Makkah, the rating and the camp type. Okay, based on the camp type, the cost varies. This is purely an estimate. We cannot even give you the exact price until it's released on Nusuk because we don't know. Nobody, if anybody says, I know the cost of the package, they are not being honest. Okay, because Nusuk has not released the prices of the package. The service providers, as of even now, don't know the cost of each package. Because what the process it works is the service providers, which are the Saudi companies that build and develop the packages and support the packages, they build the packages and then they submit it to Ministry of Hajj. Ministry of Hajj then evaluates it and makes any necessary correction, whether it is with the hotels, other things, and the cost, and only then they upload that information into Nusuk. Okay, so meaning until the package is loaded on the Nusuk, nobody knows the exact prices. So we have shared these approximate prices just to prepare yourself. Okay. Now, just to give you an idea, I mean, for you to relax, okay, our team is committed to providing you the full support of all the way until you have completed buying the packages, irrespective of which packages you get, which service providers you pick, what groups you go with. It is not relevant to us. We are here to help you. Our whole goal is fi sabilillah, to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our goal is to make sure that you are able to register completely, that you get all the support for it. So we are here to help you, inshallah ta'ala. Then we will start our logistics session, which is also again open to every hujjaj. We will release the preferred packages that we will support, but this is again not relevant to our support. Our support is irrespective of this, inshallah. Okay. Brother Wasim, can we go ahead and open up the mic for people to unmute and ask questions, or if they have put questions in the chat? You can put your questions in the chat. We will answer the questions from there, or you can unmute your mic and ask the questions. Okay.
Yeah, so I will change, inshallah, the settings to allow people to unmute. But what I would like to request everybody is if you can raise the hand. Either, like our brother said, either you can raise the hand or you can put the message in the chat if you have a question. And inshallah, we'll try to call you in the order in which the hands are raised. So let me go ahead and change the settings.
And if you have anything that is personal, we can always create a separate meeting breakout room to inshallah ta'ala to help you, inshallah. Okay. So just be aware. Next week's webinar is not going to be on Saturday because I'm traveling on Saturday. It's going to be on Sunday at the same time at 3 p.m. inshallah ta'ala. Okay. And we will also provide the schedule of the following the webinars for the next few weeks because there is lots of travel I'm going through. We are presenting lots of in-person sessions at different masajids. For now, it's in Atlanta because of the limitations with travel I have with the schedule. But if somebody wants us to do a Zoom session for a limited group of people, please reach out to me. I'm more than willing to do that. Okay. So again, if you have a limited group of people, with some focus group and you want me to do a Zoom session with them, I'm more than willing to do it to help and guide you through the Hajj Nusuk process and to answer any questions, inshallah ta'ala. Okay.
So there is a question in the chat, says that somebody already registered and now they want to get themselves added with their family members. So how do they go about doing that?
Okay. As I mentioned earlier, you basically log back into your account. You click on profile. Okay, you click on your profile, and if you click profile, you will get a summary screen. If you scroll all the way to the bottom of your screen, you will see this option here that says add a family member. Okay, when you click on this add a family member, it's going to ask you to provide a unique email address for them and a unique phone number for them. Once you enter that information, it will ask you to send it for verification. That person or that email address has to be logged in and confirmed that that's a valid email. Once that happens, then the Nusuk will bring you back to upload the documents for that person. You'll have to upload the
Uh,
documents and answer the rest of
Bro-
the question.
Brother
Yes,
Farid,
Brother
actually,
Wasim.
this is a scenario where they had separately registered already, and now they want to
Ah,
get together on the same family.
okay. If you had registered already, you need to go and delink yourself. Okay, there are two ways for you to do that. One is you can go and delete that other account. Okay, that's one way. You can go delete. There is a linking feature in Nusuk, but it has not worked very well in the last few years. Okay. So instead of worrying about that one, the suggestion is go and delete that other account that you want to add here. Okay, delete that account, give about 24 hours, and then come back here and submit the information for them in the account that you want to add them to. Okay, if I have not answered the question, please feel free to unmute the mic and ask the question.
One more question is, I've already submitted for registration, but I'm not sure if my photo will be accepted. Should I submit again?
You have submitted, but you're not sure if your photo will be accepted. And what is the rest of the question, Brother Wasim?
So you're saying that should I, like, if the photo is not clear, you know that already. Should I go ahead and redo it?
If
Yeah.
if you feel your photo is not correct, please go into the again. You go back into this same screen, summary screen. Here you delete it and you would resubmit it. Okay, from the same summary screen, you would scroll down and here you delete the passport, your personal picture if that's what you want to do it. Once you delete this, it'll ask you to upload again. Okay, you'd upload a new copy following the procedure guidelines that we have shared with you. Okay, that's how you do it. Okay.
Yeah. And similarly, they want to update some information like it's not verified yet. So can they go and change the information now?
The information, remember one thing I've said before, the information on the summary page has to be exactly how it is in the passport. Okay, for example, if the name is Abdul Rahman, Abdullah, Ilahi, Ahmed, for example, okay, and the passport does not include Ilahi, that means in your registration you should not include Ilahi because it needs to match exactly how the name is in your passport. Okay, and also date of birth. For example, let's say your date of birth is January 1, 29, for example. I'm sorry, January 1, 30, for example, whatever. But you think the year is not 30, its actual year is 29. But because your passport is 30, your registration also should be 30. Okay, meaning again, the data in your passport is the data that should be in your registration, word by word, letter by letter. Please do not go and try and change it. Now, what we have found is during the scanner is somehow missing the second portion of your first name. We have found that in many cases. Okay, so in that case, you need to go back to your registration page, and let me show where that is. in the summary page here, there is a button here, the edit button. You'd click on this edit and you'd go into your first name and you just add just the name, the second part of the name that's in your passport. If it is there, you would enter it here. But exactly, you need to have your passport in your hand and you should be typing it in. If you make any mistakes here, there are high chances that your this thing will get rejected, and you want to avoid that as much as possible. Okay. Another thing, even though you registered previously as in last year in 24, 25, you registered. If you have registered, let's say about 4 or 5 months back, you will need to log back into your account and make sure that it is not requiring you to upload your documents. Okay. Because what's happening is people who had registered last year, they are being required to re-upload your documents again. I guess Nusuk is trying to make sure that your most current documents are uploaded. So remember, if you had registered before in 25, 24, and you did not go for Hajj, thinking that, well, since I did not use it, I don't need to, I can just come back in. I'm already approved and everything. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Okay. You'll have to log back in and you'll have to check if they require you to resubmit the document. And then that gets you into the queue for re-verification. Each year, your account has to be re-verified. Okay. That's a requirement. All right. Yes, Brother Wasim?
Yeah, another question is, my account is under review. What is the timeline to get that will get verified?
We are expecting the verification to start sometime in the middle of this month. Okay, there is a Hajj exhibition, huge Hajj meetings going on in Jeddah starting tomorrow. That is going to go on for a few more days. After that, some of the verification process will start. So we are expecting verification will start by the middle of November. Expect the verification to take at least about a week to 2 weeks after that. Okay, because remember, there are thousands and thousands of accounts that they have to verify. So so they are going to go through their queue. So it could take about 2 to 3 weeks. Our expectation is, if you have registered by now, by first week of December, you should get your account verified, either verified successfully or verified requiring some correction, inshallah.
So yeah, the question, people can add more questions via chat, and I have allowed unmuting. So if somebody would like to ask the question themselves, you can unmute yourself or you can raise your hand. There's one more question. If I'm doing Hajj the following year, can I start the registration process now?
You can go ahead and put your registration in, but again, as I said, next year you might have to go back and touch your registration again. But definitely there is no harm in you submitting your registration and going through the approval process just to make sure that even if it's as a practice session, so there is no harm in doing that. Okay, and there is no fees that you don't need to put any money into your e-wallet, etc., until you're ready to buy the package. So there is no harm in doing it. Okay, all right. Anybody needs help? Anybody needs one-on-one help with your registration? Please raise your hand. Please unmute your mic and let us know, and inshallah ta'ala we'll arrange for it. I see Brother Khurshid is on. Brother Khurshid, were you able to submit your residency document? Brother Khurshid, you can unmute and answer if you wish, or you can message me back.
Salam
Yes,
alaikum.
Brother Khurshid.
Yes, I'm here. So basically, that you send it to me. I tried a different the JPG or PNG format to make it my visa document, and then the bank account. So what happened last time we tried? You may remember that for my wife, she submitted I submitted residency document as my driving license. With that, my application was approved. Whenever I submitted for my wife's application with the driving license, first time, second time, third time, they denied and give the same information. and several way try to make it, and then after fifth or sixth time, can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear. Go
Okay.
ahead, brother.
So fifth or sixth time they approved when all the packages gone, just whenever is from outside country is left over. At that time it was. So with our situation, we didn't move forward at that time. So this
Okay.
year also we are trying, and then because of the for her driving license, I'm guessing because of the when she has that driving license few years back. At that time, she didn't use the hijab, and then at whenever passport or the picture, that one has the hijab. I'm not sure with that, since do not have the hijab in the driving license, they denied 4 or 5 times. And the last moment, my guess, they since they thought like, okay, this person is trying several times, let's get approved. So it's the last moment they approved. I do not
Okay.
want to be submit the same driving license this year again. So
Okay.
so that's why I
Brother
want to make that.
Khurshid,
Yes.
sorry for interrupting you. Hijab is not a requirement in the picture, so do not worry about it. Yes, it's preferred because those pictures go on your ID document, but that is not the reason. When you submit your driving license, they require the front and back portion and make sure it's still a valid driving license. Okay. But my recommendation is go with a driving license as opposed to the other documents. Use your driving license. That is much more accepted document for residency than your lease, bank statement, etc. Okay.
Okay.
Please, I
So the
suggest you try the driving license.
okay. So the driving license will be has to be renewed in I believe in August sometime for this
That
year.
doesn't matter. That is not
That
relevant. They just
okay.
want to make sure it's a valid one today. Okay.
Okay.
So
Then
it's a passport that needs to be valid 6 months beyond the period, but they're not looking at validity for your residency permit, residency document. Okay.
okay. So we will upload the driving license, the
Okay.
passport. Sorry about that as well. We are in trouble. We our passport will be expire in my one will be in August 2026, and my wife's one will be the October 2026. So that's why we submitted for the renewal. So renewal process is little delaying for our passport. So we are waiting for to receive the updated passport to upload the passport. The
Okay.
whenever I enter in my account, it initially it says the upload your passport. It doesn't allow me anything on other than the passport the uploading. Now
Right.
it gives me the chance. Okay, you can upload your other document like the picture, the residency documents, etc. So they
Right.
allow me to upload that one, and then later on, whenever I will receive the passport updated passport, then maybe they will allow me to. So I guess until I submit the updated the passport, it will they will not be verified for my account. So I'm waiting until I receive my updated passport, and then
We
I'll do for everything together.
Okay, we have seen cases where they have ended up approving even with an older the passport that is expiring like yours. But I
Mhm.
would not suggest people take the chances. Okay, but
Okay.
if you have submitted with an older passport and if they do approve it, until you buy the package, do not go back and make any changes. Okay, do not try to resubmit in case if they approve it. I'm saying before your new passport comes in. Okay.
So do you want to like submit my picture, new picture and new residency information, and still having the old the passport, so they can try to do I
I
need to
mean,
submit
you
anything?
can. You can try to do that, but there are very high chances that they will reject it. But there's no harm in doing it. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. But you should be doing this with your new passport, but you can go ahead and submit it. There is no harm in that. Okay.
So if they reject, and then once I will receive my new passport, then I will
Exactly.
submit it again.
Exactly. That's all you do. No
Okay.
problems with that one. No problem with resubmitting the information again.
Then they will reevaluate and the approved letter for another
Correct.
next month.
Inshallah.
Inshallah.
But if they have approved it, don't touch it. That's what I'm saying. If
Okay,
they have
yeah,
approved with your
definitely.
old passport, don't touch your
Yes.
record.
Okay, definitely. I will do that.
Okay.
Jazakallah khairan, brother.
All right.
Okay, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Anything else? Any other questions, Brother Wasim? I see some questions.
Some people are asking like, does like again, yeah, the question is how long will it to get verified? I think you already covered that. Somebody saying I have 4 green check marks. Does that mean my application is good?
I'm sorry, what's the question, Brother Wasim?
It says application has 4 green check marks.
Okay.
Sister Mori Kaba or brother, I'm not sure. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask the question? I'm not sure what you're referring to.
There are check marks that you need to check them, all of them. Okay. Until you check all of them, it will not allow you to move forward. So, yes, you have to check all of those things. You have to check all of them. Okay. You have to select all of them. Only then you can move forward. If you have a question that is not something I didn't answer, please unmute and ask again. I will answer that, inshallah.
Farid bhai, I have one more question. If I move
Yes.
forward with uploading my documents, since I have the application last year completed, do I need to do any update for the address, the vaccine, or the other information? Or
No. Generally what happen is when you upload your documents and you go through all those screens, you will see the old information is intact. You don't need to change anything, but do review it to make sure that it is all there.
Okay. Yeah, I will do that.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum. This is
Assalamu
Mori
alaikum.
Kaba.
Walaikum salam. The brother first, please. Brother said something. Go ahead, brother.
Mori Kaba. That's me, Mori Kaba. Yeah,
Yes.
just my question was, I already make the application and my picture and my passport. So I have
Okay.
the 4 check mark. That means everything's fine for that until that step.
You have a check mark on your...
Yeah, my application, submit my passport and my pictures.
Okay.
And my names, everything is correct. Like a same with the name on my on my application and the same name on my passport also is the same, everything match until I got a check mark on the first step.
Yeah. All that is saying is that you have submitted the information successfully. All that's what it's saying.
Okay.
Your profile, on the top of the profile says approved. That means your application is not approved yet. Okay. And you will receive an email message clearly stating that your application has been approved. Okay. And still, as of right now, they have not approved any application for 26 yet. Okay. Because they have not gone through the verification process yet. Okay. Did I answer your question, brother?
Yes, salam. Thank you very much. Salam alaikum. Thank you very much.
Yes, there was a sister that was saying salam alaikum. Sister, assalamu alaikum. You want to unmute yourself and ask? Okay, Brother Wasim, any other questions on the chat?
Yeah, somebody's asking, does the fares that you mentioned, the packages that you mentioned, does it include airfare?
Yes. Okay, that's a good question. The range that I mentioned, remember, it's just a range I'm mentioning. It is not the actual cost, okay? It's an estimated range. That range includes the airfare from a gateway, from a certain gateway that they clearly mentioned. The connecting flights from your location to that one is not included. For example, if the gateway is Chicago, the package that you picked is Chicago, but you live in Austin, for example, okay? The connecting flight from Austin to Chicago is not included. But the flight from Chicago, from the gateway that they mentioned, to Jeddah or Medina is included, okay? And the package also includes everything from the time you land at the airport in Saudi Arabia until you come back, excepting Qurbani. Qurbani is not included. And all the packages include breakfast and dinner. All the packages include breakfast and dinner, the transportation from Mecca to Medina, the transportation from the hotel to the places of Mashar, which is Mina, etc. It's all included in there. Okay. Now, there is a question immediately comes up when I say transportation, or the transportation by trains or buses. There is some packages do it by train, some packages do it by bus. All the packages that we get involved, we have made it a requirement that they have to be train. So all the packages that we support are by train. But every package is not train. Okay, there are some which are buses between Medina and Makkah, but our packages, the one that we get involved in, is all train from between Makkah and Medina, inshallah. What's the other question, Brother Wasim?
Yeah, the next question is like, how does the process of selecting work? Like, will it be first come, first serve? How does it work when there are too many people trying to buy the same package?
I'm sorry, what did you say last?
Like, if there are like, they are trying to say, how does it work? Like, if who gets the package first?
Oh, how does the package work? Okay. The process on the Nusuk platform is very similar to the other e-commerce websites that you are used to. Okay. For example, I'm just using this as an example, Amazon website. Okay. On Amazon website, you go and create your account and you provide your credit card information. That is what Nusuk refers to as registration. After that, there are different vendors on the Amazon. They put their products there and they put the products and then they say, we have 30 of these products available. Okay. The people who go and pick the first 30 people that go and buy that product, they get that product. Same way on Nusuk platform, the registration process that you're going through, the approval, etc., all it is saying is you are registered to go out and look for packages. That's all it is saying. Okay. Once that is done, when the packages are released, the first X number of people, because each country has a limited quota. Okay. The quota is defined based on the number of Muslims in that country, the percentage. Okay. The United States has about 3,000 to 5,000. They do not release an exact number, but our understanding is about 3,500 visas are issued for United States. And then later on, because of the country equations and all that, and we will discuss this later on, it gets to about 5,000 to 6,000 visas, which is not enough, by the way. Okay. The demand is much higher than 5,000 to 6,000 visas. But the first X number of people that go and get the packages, they get the packages. Okay. And that's the reason we are getting started ahead of time. We want to get you trained. We want to get you guys registered. We want to get registered. And inshallah, in the next few webinars, okay, once we are comfortable that people are doing the registration, we will start discussing how the packages look. Okay, we are going to start discussing what are the areas that you need to look in a package, how you make a decision on the package, etc. And then they are the Ministry of Hajj on the Nusuk will give about 2 to 3 weeks to review the packages. We will go through each one of them. We will guide you. We'll help you through that, inshallah, to help you understand which are the packages that you need to decide based on your requirements. And of course, we are going to specify which packages we will support, but we will explain to you how to look at the package and make the best decision to meet your requirements. Okay, because you have to look at your monetary situation, you have to look at how many days you can go away, you have to look at what are the gateways that you want to use, etc., all these things, and we will guide you through, inshallah. In the next about 3 to 4 weeks we will get into this one. Okay, for right now we are concentrating only on registration, but we will get into that. Just relax, wait for us. But to answer the question directly, it is based on the first come, first serve basis. Once your registration is completed, when the package is released, the first number of people who go and grab package, they are the ones that will get the package.
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay? Wa alaikum salam, sister. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Yes, brother. I have a question that you put earlier. If you want, my husband and I, we register already, but My husband work on Saturdays. Actually, he's off Friday, Sunday, but he work on Saturdays. So since the first one last week, we don't have we were both having like some family meeting, so we didn't attend. But you have you put a question that if somebody want like a 101, how can someone do that, like 101 in
One-on-one
person?
session.
Yes,
You're
session.
saying that you cannot do it right now?
No, I'm saying because my husband work on Saturdays, so
Okay.
he's usually
Why don't you message me separately? Either myself or one of my team member will get in touch
So
with you and
where
we'll
can
set
I
up a
send the
call.
message in here, right? In the chat?
No, you can message me directly. I'm one of the admins in the group. You can go and look up my name
but
there.
on
It says
what?
Farid
Because there
Ahmed.
is a lot of numbers there when I try to do that. And he tried to, there's a lot of numbers, so we don't know who
Okay,
to get through
I'm
to.
gonna go ahead and put my number here in the chat, okay?
Inshallah. Thank you, brother.
Okay, message me on that number. But please message me later today because
On
immediately
which
after
number?
this, I have
Did
to
you
go
put it
for a
already? Did you put the
presentation.
number up?
I put it in the chat group. Okay.
Did you find it, sister?
All right. Okay. Next, please.
Yeah, the next question is, what do we do if wheelchair is needed?
Okay. Wheelchair
Yes,
is a
please.
bit tricky situation. Okay. Wheelchair is provided by service provider. Wheelchair is provided, but assisted wheelchair is not available. Okay. So again, if you need a wheelchair, let's say a family is going, one of the family member needs a wheelchair, you can request a wheelchair and the service provider will make a wheelchair available. Okay. For our group, we go there and we generally do get a few wheelchairs and we give it to our group people, but wheelchair will be available. But assisted wheelchair is not available. Okay. What does assisted mean? There is not anybody out there provided by service provider or by ministry that will be there to push your wheelchair throughout the period. That is not going to be possible. Okay. But the wheelchair as a equipment will be available. Okay. I see a question here. Does VIP package 30,000 will be
But
best?
on that note, if you could talk about assisted wheelchair options in Haram, at least for Tawaf and
Oh, yes. As far as Haram is concerned, okay, during the Tawaf and Sa'i, their assisted wheelchair are available for a cost, as well as the Haram services also will provide a wheelchair. There is a golf cart that will take you through, etc. So within the Haram area, assisted wheelchair is available. When I am referring to assisted wheelchair in the Mashayar is not available. Okay, going to the Jamarat, going to any other activity around Muzdalifah, going in Arafat, you don't need to go anywhere because it's a one camp area. You get down from the bus, you get back onto the bus or train, etc. But in the Mashayar days, assisted wheelchair is not available. But in the Haram, the Kaaba area, assisted wheelchair is available. There are people out there who you can hire to take you on a wheelchair. And if you go, there is a certain location which we will inshallah ta'ala discuss later on. If you go there, there is the Haram provides a golf cart that will take you around performing the Umrah and the Sa'i. Okay. Next question, please.
Yeah, I think somebody is asking whether we support VIP packages.
Can we support what?
VIP packages.
We support the Al-Kabsh package, which is the VIP package, if that's what you're referring to. If you're referring to the Kidana package, we don't support Kidana package. Kidana package, as we understand from the previous year, is only supported by Dar es Salaam. Okay? But you can definitely join our webinars to learn about this thing, but we don't support that one. Anybody that wants to go with the Kidana, yes, we don't support that one, but do feel free to join because, as I said, our whole purpose is to help people prepare for the Hajj.
Farid bhai, can you please explain one more time about the shifting and non-shifting packages to be close to Haram and then the close to the Mina, Muzdalifa there?
Sure. So there are two types of packages, okay? It is shifting and non-shifting, okay? Let me talk about the non-shifting first, okay? Non-shifting are your standard packages. You go into your hotel, you stay there throughout the entire period, and shifting and non-shifting only applies to Makkah, okay? So non-shifting in Makkah, you'd go into your hotel, you'd stay in the hotel until you depart Makkah. That is called non-shifting. For example, if your package says the hotel is in Address Hotel or one of the Swisstel hotels, for example, when you go into Mecca, you check in there, you keep your luggage, you keep your baggage, and then you will go to Mashayar, you will perform your Jamrat and Mina, Arafat, Muzdalifah, etc., 4, 5 days, etc. And then you come back, you still have the room, your luggage is there, etc. Okay? Whereas the shifting, in case of the shifting, what happens is you will go into a hotel in Makkah during the Mashayar days, okay, you might be shifted into a different hotel, okay? So generally, for example, if you are in the Swisstel, for example, when you come into Makkah, you check into Swisstel, you're going to stay there until the Mashayar days, and then they will move you into one of the hotels in Azizia. This is to save the cost and keep the cost lower. The hotels during the Mashayar days are considered to be expensive. So to keep the cost of the package lower, what the service provider will do is will take you into Makkah first for the few days to perform the Umrah, etc. And then they will shift you out of that hotel into one of the hotel in Azizia to keep your costs down. That means you have to completely take your luggage and move into that hotel. That is called the shifting hotel. Okay?
So
the cost can be significantly different, by the way, in that case. Yes, Brother Khurshid.
One is the cost, another one is the hotel in Azizia that is close to the Jamarat, Mina, Muzdalifa.
That is not the reason why the package has shifting, by the way, okay? But there is an advantage into staying in Azizia because the hotels in Azizia are closer to the Jamarat, the Mina camp, etc. Okay, but the reason for shifting packages is purely money. Okay. But if we are going to go through this when we evaluate the packages, I don't want to get into detail right now, but there is an advantage of staying in Azizia. There is an advantage in staying in close to Haram. We will discuss this later on, inshallah ta'ala, because it's a big topic.
Okay, so if non-shifting, then the hotel is close to the Haram, and then whenever go to the Mina, Muzdalifa, at that time the shower, the bathroom, all days will be there in the camp. All facilities are available there to complete. Even though they didn't
camp has all the facilities.
They didn't need to come back to the hotel and stay.
No, you don't need to come back to the hotel necessarily. Okay. People go back to the hotel to rest sometimes during the daytime. Okay, but you don't have to go back to the hotel
because there is a resting area in the camp.
Your tent has your bed. I mean, of course there is. I mean, the tent has the shower area, the bathroom area, your resting area, the food is provided. Everything is in the camp, okay? Sometimes people like to go back to their hotels to change their clothes, to rest up, in a more comfortable bed, etc. But it's not necessary.
In the camp, I saw some pictures or videos. They have a lay down seats, the bed kind of bed. Is there for all?
In the Al Mossam camp, they have the bed, which is basically the sofa, the cushion thing that opens up. Okay. And it's pretty comfortable. Okay. In Al Kabsh is a little bit more comfortable. And Kidana is, of course, the luxury style. Okay.
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 Okay. Thank you, brother.
You're welcome, Brother Khurshid. Any other questions, please?
Yeah, somebody's saying, can I use a 7-month-old picture on Nusuk?
Yeah. As long as it follows the guidelines that I mentioned earlier, 200 by 200. the head part, the shoulder part should be visible. The background should be white. As long as it follows that guideline, it doesn't matter how old the picture. I mean, it cannot be like 10-year-old, of course, okay? But as long as that's available, a year or two is okay.
When do we put money in the wallet?
You are going to start putting the money into the e-wallet as sometimes when the packages are released, a little bit before the packages are released. We're going to start discussing about how the e-wallet works. Sometime in the second week of December, we'll start discussing it and get you started on putting the funds in there as soon as the packages are released for review, inshallah. Okay. Until the packages are released for review, you would not know how much money to put in there. But be prepared to at least have $10,000 to $12,000 per person. Okay?
One question is that somebody has a profile approved from 2 years ago. They don't want to make any changes. Is everything okay, or do they need to do anything?
Every registration, you have to log back in and see if they will require you to re-upload the documents. As of my knowledge, every login, every registration, Nusuk has reset that upload button so that everyone that has to re-upload the documents, okay? And verification is for every year. So you have to log back into your account, and if they require you to upload the documents, you have to upload the documents. Even if they don't require you to upload the document, you need to go into your profile and just make a small change, like put a space or something, so that your account gets back into the verification queue. Because it was approved about 2 years back or 1 year back, that is not going to work. You have to get it approved this year. Okay? Any other question?
Those were all the questions in the chat. Anybody else has a question?
Assalamu alaikum. I have a question.
Walaikum salam, brother.
Does everyone that submit an application on Nusuk will get verified before the packages are released?
As long as you submit it at least a few weeks before the packages are released. Yes, okay. As it gets into the month of December, they do speed up this one. But there is no guarantee. That's why we want people to submit the registration early now, so that when they start the verification in the middle of November, they will review it, give you feedback, either approved or successful, approved, or they require some correction. So you can do the correction and be ready before the packages are released. Please do not wait until December to submit your registration.
Jazakallah khair.
Okay. No other questions? Now, remember, the webinar for next week is going to be on Sunday. We have several in-person sessions scheduled for the Atlanta area. Okay, we are trying to look for scheduling some in other cities. If we cannot schedule it, I'm always available to do Zoom sessions for smaller focus group. If you know of, please let me know. As long as my time permits, I'm more than willing to do concentrated focus sessions with smaller groups. For example, if you're in the Chicago area, California area, their timing doesn't work well. If you have about 8, 10, 15, whatever number of people, and you want me to do a Zoom session, I'm more than willing to do it, okay? Remember, our goal is pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by helping as many hujjaj as possible to go for Hajj, inshallah ta'ala. Okay? All right. If no other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap up, inshallah ta'ala. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Wal asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. Illa alladhina amanu. Wa amilus salihati. Wa tawasaw bil haqqi. Wa tawasaw bis sabr. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.